So as you guys can see, I'm in Tommy Efia's bay. So I actually had to get a new camera because mine basically broke when I went on my Vegas trip, and it fully broke a couple weeks after. And so my buddies won't let me borrow his camera, and so Mike from Divine Media, Tommy's filmer, Rudnick's filmer, actually sold me one of his old cameras for pretty cheap. I really like the camera I was using. I was using a G7X before, but the autofocus with the low light was pretty bad. As you guys probably know, half my videos out of focus. So the camera I'm using is now at A6300, and it has a way faster autofocus, so I'm kind of hoping that will improve the videos. And I'm just kind of really excited for it because he used this camera to shoot like my 300ZX feature and everything, so I know it has the capabilities of making some pretty cool videos. So, came here to pick it up, and we got a few more things to do for the rest of the day. Hey, Steffi. Let's go see what they're up to. Tommy, just say hi for my video.
Hi for your video. Why, what are you gonna do, something weird?
Yeah, you like that?
What are you doing over at my side?
You know.
Rifling through my shit?
Sabotage.
My car's out in the fucking parking lot.
Hey, Rodnock.
How you doing? How you doing?
How you doing?
He's drinking that good. What is that? Green
Mountain
tea?
Dew.
What?
Mountain Dew.
Hi, Mike.
Hey, yo.
Mike's whole.
Yeah.
But the stepchild of the garage. Here's the Sylvia. What's he doing? What are you doing, Tommy? I do love this car, though. I wish I had a real Sylvia. It'll be good when he's done. This thing's gonna take a while to get used to. It doesn't have a screen to flip up, so I can't see if I'm even filming stuff in frame. So we've left Tommy's shop about 25 minutes ago. We're heading down to Logan Steel to go pick up my subframes, because I think they're getting done right now, which is awesome. So we'll get those back in the car, have that looking all complete and together. And my lower control arms actually just came in. So I think we're gonna stop at my house first real quick to pick those up because it's on the way. And hopefully I can get my whole front suspension together, which would be fantastic. But I think we're just gonna throw the front end together so it looks all complete and nice, and go from there. How you doing, Steffi?
I hate traffic.
Oh boy, I got a lot more packages than I thought. This is sick. All right, so I got a package from Villains. This is sick. This is for my mom. I got an Enjuku package. Oh, Enjuku right here. This is sick. What the hell is this from? This is more Enjuku stuff. Okay, I got a lot more parts than I was anticipating. This is fantastic news. I'm really excited. Hell yeah. Okay, let's load these up and then get down to Logan, get the front end, and go down to the shop and see what we got. There we go. The best place. Hey, Jumbo.
Every time, what's up?
Look at that.
The color is perfect.
Oh, this is beautiful. This is exactly what I wanted. Look at that finish. It came out so good.
This looks like brand new stuff.
I know, I'm so happy with this finish. It has such like a nice classy look to it. It's like a nice deep black, but it's matted so it's not like in your face gloss. Look at this.
Yeah, I was here when they were doing it.
They killed it.
That's what we do.
All right, so this is my favorite part of Logan Steel, and it's their massive bargain barn. Now, all of these cuts are basically cut-offs from projects from other companies, right?
Correct. Yeah.
So companies will come, have something custom made, customers here and there, and then these are like the scrap set. You know, most companies would usually send out to get recycled, and they basically reuse them and sell them at a pretty low cost, so people like me can make some cool stuff out of it. So I need a small chunk of aluminum because I want to make a block-off plate for the firewall. So we're in the aluminum section. So does this go by the Dewey Decibel system also, or?
It actually does,
Okay,
yes.
yeah, that's what I thought. So let's see.
Sorry.
There we go. We found the perfect size cuts. I grabbed a couple just in case I mess it up. This will give me options. So thanks to Logan Steel, my parts are all powder coated and loaded up. Now I can get them back on the car. And hopefully my upper control arms actually came in the packages today, which means I can put my whole front end together, which is sick, because that's, you know, that's a whole thing being done today, which is awesome. So Logan Steel, they always hook me up. You guys know. Make sure you check out their page, at least their Instagram for me. Bye, Mike. You guys know they got some cool stuff. The bargain barn is sick. Always the supply for all the random projects, and the powder coat stuff is just a really cool extra. So off to the shop now, and let's go put in some work. So I'm really excited. The new camera has way better colors than the last one, as you can tell. It is a very dark shop in here. I still need to, you know, ball out on some lights, but in due time when budget allows it. But This camera, I think, makes it a lot more comfortable to view, and the quality is a lot better, and the focusing is way, way faster, as you guys know. A big issue with my last camera was focusing. I feel like half my clips are out of focus because I tend to just throw this camera around a lot, so I'm excited. But today is a really cool day. It's like Christmas for me. I got my new camera finally, and a bunch of my parts finally came in. Now, since this month is tight, I basically ordered everything I need bare minimally to get the engine in the car running. That'll leave me room to upgrade in the future, so like next month we can kind of ball out and get some nicer parts for it, do some upgrades. But in the meantime, fortunate, Enjuku Racing is giving me a pretty good hookup on their parts. They were able to give me a pretty good discount. They're helping me out so much with this build off. I'm super excited to work with them. I love their parts, I love their staff. They're amazing and they have everything you need. I've been ordering them for years. They've always had everything I needed for all my Nissan chassis, and you can't beat it. So thank you guys so much again for the hookup. So basically the parts I'll be installing on the Z is all of their brand, the ISR performance stuff. Now, ISR is kind of like more of a budget series. It really tunes to like their everyday 240 owner. It's not the highest end of parts ever, but it's definitely probably the best bang for the buck. You get way higher quality than what you pay for. It really allows a lot of people, especially S-chassis guys, to be able to build cars on way tighter budgets than they should be able to. So I'm gonna go through the packages now and show you guys what I got. I got 4 packages from Enjuku, and I got 1 package from one of my most favorite companies, and that's Villains. Villains is a small company in Washington, I think. I think that's where they're from. Basically, buy drifters for drifters, and they always hook me up, so let's start with theirs.
They're from Walla Walla, Washington.
They're from Walla Walla. Awesome, we got a t-shirt. And we got, yeah, popcorn. Lower control arms. Hell yeah. Villains Drift, what they do is they take lower control arms and they extend them. I've done this on my S13, my Z. Basically every guy with an S chassis basically extends their lower control arms. What this does is it gives you a little bit of camber, so when you're at full lock, that camber allows you to have a good contact path at full angle, which is where you really want most of your grip. So these are actually S13 lower control arms, but they actually have the exact same control arm on the Z. So all I have to do is change the ball joint and this should work on my Z. So this will give me just enough camber. Since I will be drifting this car, this will give me just like the perfect amount of camber to work out.
Are these hand welded?
Yeah, those are hand-made, so.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, as you can see, I've done it in a few videos. You guys have seen me do it personally, but they cut it right here and extend it. So on top of that, since you're extending your control arms, you need longer tie rods. So they hooked it up with some new tie rods too. So I believe what you could use is like S14 inners and Maxima outers, I believe. Don't quote me on that one. You can go on their website, which will be in the description, and you'll see exactly what you need. But these work for a Z chassis too. So we got 2 sets of inners, of course, and 2 sets of outers. Sick. And they also hooked it up with a
letter from Santa?
A letter from Santa. Oh, that's sick. They gave me a little keychain. That's badass. On top of that, they also hooked it up with a few stickers, so of course you gotta put one on the Z. You guys at Villains, thank you so much. Okay, so they also hooked me up with something really sick. So these pieces right here are essentially the inserts for the extensions. Now they sell these pre-bent, which is really nice because it saves you a lot of time and they're really cheap. And they come beveled too, so it gives you a nice weld. But they actually sent me a rig, or a jig, whatever you want to call it, that basically locks the control arms in place so I could weld them properly and cut them properly. So thank you guys.
Yeah, hit your boy Jimmy up if you need some control arms extended.
They know I do it all the time. I feel like I've done so many sets for my friends, so this is really sick. I really appreciate it. So we're gonna move on to the Enjuku stuff. I don't know exactly what came in. I don't think all my parts came in, but a few of them did, so let's see what this is. Beautiful. So this is my clutch kit. My clutch kit. Oh, why does it sound weird?
Your clutch kit? It sounded totally normal.
Okay, this one's heavy. So I actually think this is the same one Tommy got.
That can't be a lightweight if it's heavy.
Oh, get out of here. So this is really cool. Pressure plate, of course. Clutch disc. And it comes with a lightweight flywheel, which is badass. Can't beat that. So we won't be using this for a little while. See, this is so exciting. This is like Christmas. Nice hard box. Alright. Some stickers. Alright, let's see what we got here. Water neck. Oh, so this is the water outlet, or coolant outlet, whatever you want to call it, for an SR. So the water neck actually comes with a NPT style fitting on it, I believe. Yes. And what this allows you to do is to run basically a line off of your water neck. Basically, some guys will use it for a coolant temp sensor. Some will use it to now feed coolant to their turbo, since the factory coolant feed is in a kind of bad location. So this is really cool. Since we're manual converting this, I figured we needed a shift knob, so I got that classic Tomy shift knob that I have on everything.
It is such a nice shift knob, though.
It is. It's like the perfect size. We got turbo elbow gasket, studs and bolts. That's a must. Now this box, I have no idea what it is. Here we go. Speaking of turbo elbow, we got an ISR turbo elbow. It's a cast manifold. It's dirt cheap. You really can't beat it. I don't need anything fancy. There we go. This will get us turning down, if you feel me.
For what?
Awesome. So I'm really happy this came in today. This is perfect timing, so I could actually get my whole front end together. This is... Do you know what it is, RJ?
Do I know what it is?
Yeah, do you know what it is? I just gave it
No.
a jar of pickles. No, it's a upper control arm. So even though these things are so hideous looking, look at that. That's Nissan's upper control arm for their Z chassis. Look at this big bulky thing. So with the Z chassis, when you lower them, the upper control arm tends to hit the top of the strut tower pretty hard. So if you actually get adjustable ones and you shorten it a couple millimeters, it'll give you just a little bit more camber, but this will allow you to not basically bang the top of your strut tower super hard. I've seen people actually dent their strut towers, so this is how you avoid it. Of course, can't beat the stickers. Can you guys guess what this is? It's probably pretty obvious.
Ooh, a radiator. Psych! A radiator.
That's one hell of a flux capacitor.
True that. I'm gonna use an S13 radiator. It's I mocked up gyps, and it actually mounts directly. The little mounting pins on the bottom mount directly in the OEM Z32 mounting brackets, which is really cool. It just sits like that much lower than the radiator support, but it looks fine. I'm really excited to start with a fresh, nice aluminum radiator.
I swear to God, if it's a door card.
It's a floor mat!
Ah! We were both wrong.
Both wrong.
So we suck.
ISR, since they have literally everything you need, this is a shroud and fan kit for a radiator, but it fits their OEM one perfectly. So we got that. This is mint. We're gonna bolt that together. That should be all set. So I think that's it. We still have a few more parts coming in, but this will. That was good. Sorry. This will keep us. This will get us going. So yeah, let's start getting stuff bolted together. I'm gonna put the subframe in now. It's just 4 bolts. It's really easy. Doing this myself is gonna be an interesting one.
Yeah, I'm just gonna watch.
Look at this technique.
Technique.
Oh, there we go. This is not the angle for it. How do I look? Oh, good. Oh! Oh! Beautiful.
Torque spec.
That does not go there. Alright, so I threw my Z knuckles in the lower control arms. Now, originally I was kind of planning on doing some angle mods to knuckles and chopping where the tire goes in. You make it shorter, you drop it down. It allows your car to have more angle. But with the bump stop off the lower control arm, the Z's have like a very, very high angle binding point, so I don't feel a need to do that at all. Like that would be plenty of angle right there. So I think we're good on that. So I guess we're just gonna throw them in right now. Easy enough.
Fart, RJ?
Yeah.
Played off.
I did. Joke's on you guys. I've already farted like 6 times since I've been here. Filming it so it doesn't count.
First tee. Ready? Hands in pockets.
And Jimmy gets pegged in the back.
Can't find the hole.
What else is new?
We're good. These are the upper control arms on the Z. You actually have to take the bracket off the chassis to change them, so I just have it off. So we can just blast these off and then replace it with the nice new ISR ones. Oh, that's signing. What looks like my impact's a little bitch. Yeah. There we go.
Wow.
We can adjust them later. I don't really know exactly. Sometimes you have to take off one of the locking rings and make sure you just lock it really tight. It's been a while. We'll find out. But we're going to start it off with it fully shortened and see how it fits. As you can see, it's a lot shorter than the OEM one. It actually might be too short, but we'll see it. It's trial and error. We'll figure it out.
This.
Quick switch. Front end is coming together. Now the next piece is something I picked up when I was down in Florida when I went to Enjuku's headquarters itself. Now these are front trailing arms, traction arms, caster arms, whatever you want to call them. What these do is these allow you to have adjustable caster in your front wheel well. Now the caster is basically where the hub sits front to back. These are the stock ones. As you can see, they're just basically a rod with a bushing in it. These, on the other hand, are adjustable from the top. And what's also great about this one series is there's a bend in them, and so these are considered like a high angled tension rod because they sit right in here. So when your wheel's at full lock, it could actually rub on this piece. So with the arch, this actually arches it in so your wheel can go down a little bit farther so you won't rub on it at high angle. Beautiful. So as you see, if we shorten this arm, it'll bring the hub forward, and if we extend it, it'll bring the hub back. Now, I'm gonna adjust that later. I mean, at this point, I really can't get any eyeball adjustments from it now, so there's no point in trying to adjust it. So this is almost set. There's still a little bunch of pieces on here. We got this. We have to get the steering rack back in so we can get the tie rods in, to put the brake line and ABS sensor back in, put the brakes back on, and get the coilover in, and then we should be all set. It's not bad, it's just tedious. And for some reason, I cannot find my sway bar end links. I have no idea where they are, but whatever, I need new ones anyways. So the last piece I want to throw on before I go home tonight is my front coilovers, just basically to help support it so it doesn't just hang. Now these are ISR coilovers. These are also from Enjuku. I picked these up when I was in Florida. I'm really excited to see how these ride. I heard pretty good things about them. As you can see, unlike S13 top hats, there's no adjustable camber plate just because of this whole wishbone setup, so we'll see. The spring rate is a little bit softer than I usually like, so we'll see how that works. Worst case, you could upgrade the springs. It's not that expensive. It's not that hard to do. So we're just going to throw these in. Not really just the ride height yet because we don't really know where it's going to be, so just 3 bolts. Alright, and we got the left side of the car done too, so that's all set. Now remember, before you put your coilovers in, I forgot to mention it, just make sure you put some preload on the spring, because if it's loose sitting in the collar, it's probably going to clunk and it's really annoying. So that's all set. Now, only thing we have left is to put the steering rack in, put the longer tie rods in the rack, put the rack in tomorrow, and then the front end should basically be all set besides the brakes. And I know you guys don't want to see the brakes. But I'm pretty happy. I got most of the front end together. All the powder coated parts look amazing inside the engine bay. It's a nice refresh. So a huge shout out to everyone. Logan Steel for the powder coat, Villains Drift for the control arms and tie rods, and ISR for everything else. I wouldn't be able to do it without you guys, so huge thank you. I'll put all their links in the description. You know where to find it, right below. So I'm really tired. I know Steph is really tired.
I'm dying.
She's over here in a little ball all the time.
It's cold.
But I'm gonna call it a night. So you guys know the drill. Like, comment, subscribe. Stay tuned for more content, and I'll see you guys probably tomorrow. Good.
I'm loading it up.